So in all the previous videos we had discussed about analyzing the structures based on slope deflection equations and moment distribution method. So we have learnt the two methods by which we could be able to analyze any given structure, and this is the third method in which we are going to solve the structures, right? We are going to analyze the structure. So the basic principles of all the methods remain same, that we need to understand the rotation and deflection or translation that is supposed to happen. Based on that we try to analyze any structure, right? Okay, now going with rotation method, it is basically called as rotation method, and it is named after the scientist or engineer who developed this, called Keynes, right? So Keynes method or rotation method basically deals with determining what is the rotation moment required and the rotation factor. Okay, so we'll get into what is rotation moment and rotation factor later. First we would like to see the figures and understand the figures, then we could be able to arrive at the conclusion of knowing what is rotation factor and what is rotation moment. So again, this is also similar to that of moment distribution method. As we know, in moment distribution method what we do is that we carry out a trial and error procedure. We try to balance out the joints by using the distribution factor. So the distribution factor helps you to distribute the moments equally towards both the joints, right? N number of joints are there. Based on the distribution factor you will divide all the moments within the joints, and by that trial and error procedure we arrive at the precise value of the moments, or we could be able to analyze that given structure. Here also the same thing is there. Here also what we do is that we try to use this equation. We are going to develop an equation. So based on that equation we could be able to solve what are end moments. Okay, let's get into this diagram that I have written here. Okay, what this is a joint A and this is a joint B. Joint A can be connected by n number of members. Right now the joint A is connected by AB, AC, AD and AE. These are representing the continuous lines. Okay, I hope this is very much clear. So any member AB, if this is a member AB, so assume that there is some load that is being subjected to this member AB or element AB, right? So we can calculate how much is the MFAB and MFBA. We could be able to calculate how much will be the fixed end moments in this case. So we can call this as MFAB and this will be my MFBA. Okay. So we also know that due to rotation, when I apply some moment over here, it will create a slope here, right? A rotation will be created. So we can call this as theta A. So this is your end A. The development of rotation at this end we can call it as theta A. The development of rotation at the other end B we can call it as theta B, and the moment required here will be equals to 4EI theta A divided by LAB. This is the equation that we already know, right? So if a moment of 4EI theta A divided by LAB has been applied here, half of that will be carried over to the other side, which is 2EI theta A divided by LAB. So we knew all of this, right? Similarly, I have considered that there is a rotation at end A, and I determine the moments, these rotation moments, and again at theta B I'll apply some moment. Because of that there will be rotation of theta B, and from that there are moments that are generated which has 4EI theta B, sorry, theta B divided by LAB, right? So like this, these are the set of scenarios that I considered. First there will be fixed end moment because of the loading, then there will be theta A. Because of that again the moments are generated, rotation moments are generated. Again there will be theta B, because of that again there will be rotation moments that are generated. So two ends will be there, two rotation moments are generated. Okay, next thing is translation. Okay, now what we do is that we will try to eliminate the translation this time. Okay, so till we reach the non-sway frames, there is no use of delta values, right? So we are not going to solve delta values until we reach the sway frames, right? So that's why what we do is that we consider only these rotation moments itself. Okay, these slope conditions itself. We will try to neglect the translation condition. When we go for non-sway frames, I will derive another equation from Keynes method. Okay, now I hope you all remember the equation that we used while solving the slope deflection equations. So what was the equation I used? I had used this equation called MAB. MAB is the end moment, is equals to MFAB plus of 2 EI theta A divided by LAB plus of 2 EI theta B divided by LAB minus 6 EI delta by delta divided by L square, right? So here I am telling you that we need to neglect the translation, considering that this will not translate. Okay, we are assuming that it will not translate. Okay, that's why I am eliminating the delta. If I eliminate the delta, this 6 EI delta divided by L square will be eliminated. Okay, what is left with is only these three terms. One is fixed end moment, the rotation at the near end, rotation at the far end. Okay, so these are the only moments that are left over. Now what I will do is, I used to call minus 6 EI delta divided by L square as m dash, right? So here rotation moments, I will call this as m double dash. Okay, you remember this. When I call m dash, I am saying they are with respect to the translation, the moments are with respect to translation. When I am using m double dash, I am saying that they are with respect to rotation, the moments are created because of the rotation. Okay, so now what we will do is, we know that the value of rotation over here will be 4 EI theta A divided by LAB. So I will call this as 2 m double dash AB, 2 times of m double dash AB. So at the far end, how much will be the moment that will be carried over? It will be equals to half of this, which is 2 EI theta A divided by LAB. So if here it is 2 m dash AB, here it will be m double dash AB. Now from this figure, if there is a theta that gets generated, the moment here will be equals to 2 m dash AB, and the moment at the far end will be equals to m double dash AB. Okay, right. So now again we have completed with one end where the theta is equals to theta A, and we will go to other end, which is B end. At this end, theta is equals to theta B. So the moment that is required here will be 4 EI theta B divided by LAB, right? So I will call this as 2 times of m double dash BA, and the moment that will be carried over to the far end will be m double dash BA. Okay, so I hope this you can find the relevance in how I have written these two equations. Okay, so we can say that MAB will be equal to MFAB plus of 2 m dash AB, 2 m double dash AB plus of m double dash BA. I have to keep on adding MFAB, 2 m double dash AB, m double dash BA. Okay, this is the equation. Similarly, if I have to solve the end moments at B, MBA will be equals to MFAB, m double dash AB, 2 m double dash BA. Okay, this is how we can write the equation. Okay, the next thing what we do is that at this joint, at this particular joint, summation of all the moments should be equal to 0. What does it mean? Summation of all the moments will be equal to 0 means what? There are moments like MAB, MAC, MAD, MAE are generated. Okay, if I take the summation of all those moments, it should be equal to 0. So see here, summation of all the moments at A joint will be equal to 0, which means MAB, MAC, MAD, MAE should be equal to 0. So I can call them as summation of Mij values. Okay, so what I say is that the near end will be called as I, the far end will be called as J. Okay, so that's why they are called as Mij values. Okay, so once I write this as Mij values, by taking the reference of these equations, these two equations, I can write what will be the summation of Mij equation. What will be summation of Mij equation? It will be set of fixed end moments, rotation moments at near end, rotation moments at the far end, right? So that's why m dash ij will be equal to summation of mf ab, mf ac, mf ad, mf ae, right? So in general I can call it as summation of mf ij, right? So I hope you can understand this. Plus of 2 times of m double dash ij. M double dash ij is representing summation of m double dash ab, m double dash ac, m double dash ad, m double dash ae, like that. Okay, plus of. Now we are going to summation of m double dash ji. These are representing m double dash ba, m double dash ca, m double dash ea, m double dash da, like that kind of things. Okay, so this becomes the equation for summation of fixed end moments at any given joint. So once we have solved this, what is the summation of all the moments at any given joint, we already know the summation of all the moments at joint A should be equal to 0. So that's why I can write this equating it to 0. So if I equate it to 0, what I'll do is that I'll bring this term 2 into summation of m double dash ij to this side. So m double dash ij is representing the rotation moment because of the near end. Okay, so minus 2 summation of m double dash ij is equals to summation of m fij, which are summation of all the fixed end moments, plus of summation of m double dash ji. M double dash ji is representing the summation of all the far end moments. Okay, so now this equation has been generated. Okay, now let us call this as some equation 1. Okay, and now let us go back to these equations. So in these equations, what we know is that 2m double dash ab is equals to 4 ei theta a divided by lab. I can simplify this like that. 2m double dash ab is equals to 4e into k. What is k? K is I by L. I hope you remember what is k. K is the relative stiffness. Relative stiffness is written as I by L if the far end is fixed. In this case, the far end is fixed, so that's why I is equals to k is equals to I by L, right? So I can write this as 2m double dash ab is equals to 4 ei k divided by theta a. Okay, now see here, similarly we can write for this also. Anyhow, let us call this as 2m double dash ij. Ij is representing any arbitrary ends. Okay, so 2m double dash ij is equals to 4e kij. Kij is representing the stiffness of the same member, multiplied by theta I. Theta is representing the rotation at the near end. Okay, now you try to configure the same thing with this equation. So 2m double dash ab is equals to 4e kab into theta a. Okay, you can read like this. So you can apply to any end you want. You can apply this for b end also. Okay, so 2m double dash ba is equals to 4ei kba into theta b. Okay, like this you can read. So ij can be changed with respect to the near end and the far end. I is representing the near end and j is representing the far end. Okay, so we know this. Okay, now let us go to 2 times of summation of m double dash ij. What is m double dash ij is representing here? M double dash summation of m double dash ij is representing summation of m double dash ab, m double dash ac, m double dash ad and m double dash ae. Okay, so that will be equals to 4e and theta a will be common between all the equations. If I write the equation for ab, m double dash ab, m double dash ac, m double dash ad and m double dash ae, you will find that 4 ei theta will be common. So that's why we brought it common. So what will vary? What will vary? The length will vary, right? So that's why when you are solving for kab, the stiffness, relative stiffness for ab, it will be I by lab. And when you are solving the stiffness for AC, it will be I divided by LAC. When you are solving the stiffness for AD, it will be I divided by LAD, right? So that's how summation of Kij will come into figure. Okay, so once we have solved what is 2m double dash ij and 2 times of summation of m double dash ij, next thing what I'll do is I'll go and find out what is distribution factor. I hope you all know what is distribution factor is. Distribution factor is the relative stiffness of any member divided by the joint stiffness, right? So what we do is that distribution factor, to calculate distribution factor, we know that Kij divided by summation of Kij is equals to distribution factor, and it is also equal to taking the ratio of 2m double dash ij divided by 2 summation of m double dash ij. You take the ratio of these two and you will arrive at the same conclusion, which is distribution factor. Okay, taking the ratio of these two is equals to Kij divided by summation of Kij, which is nothing but your distribution factor. Okay, now henceforth I can write like this: summation of m double dash ij, 2 is getting cancelled, summation of m double dash ij will be equals to m double dash ij divided by distribution factor. I can say this. Okay, right? So this is the conclusion that I get from these equations. Okay, so once I solved what is summation of m double dash ij is equals to m double dash ij divided by distribution factor. So as we know here in this equation, I'll send this -2 to that side. Okay, so it will become, this equation will become m double dash ij. What is summation of m double dash ij? M double dash ij divided by distribution factor. So instead of this I am substituting this in this equation. Okay, so m double dash ij divided by distribution factor is equals to -1/2 into bracket summation of mf ij plus of plus of summation of m double dash ji. Okay, so if I send the distribution factor to this side, what will be this equation now? Now this equation is representing you m double dash ij. What is m double dash ij? It is the rotation moment at the near end, which is equal to half of minus half, negative half, multiplied by distribution factor, multiplied by summation of mfij plus of summation of m double dash ji. Okay, so this is your equation when you are solving for m double dash ij, and this m double dash ij is nothing but your rotation moment, the moment which is creating the rotation. Okay, now what I will do is I will write this into a single head, because this will remain constant, right? K, relative stiffness, is constant, joint stiffness is constant, so relative stiffness divided by joint stiffness multiplied by some coefficient. I will call this as uij. Uij is your rotation factor. Okay, so this is your rotation factor. So what is rotation factor? Is equal to uij is equals to minus 1 by 2 into bracket kij divided by summation of kij. Okay, this is your rotation factor. So now this is the equation to calculate m double dash ij. So rotation moment is m double dash ij and rotation factor is uij. Uij is calculated by minus 1 by 2 into bracket kij divided by summation of kij. mij, which is rotation moment, can be calculated by uij into bracket summation of mfij plus of summation of m double dash ji. Okay, mfij is representing the summation of fixed end moment at any given joint. M double dash ji is representing the summation of far end rotation moments. Okay, I hope this is very much clear. Even if you find difficulty in deriving this equation, you can ask me the question. If you find difficulty while solving the problem, you can ask me the question. Okay, so you have to remember these two equations. First equation, which is your rotation moment, the second equation is your rotation factor. Okay, so once you remember these two, also remember this equation. Okay, right? So based on these equations, I would like to solve the problems on Carney's method. So let us quickly solve this problem. You are familiar with this problem because I have solved the same example using the slope deflection equation. You can go back to the 4th video or 5th video which I have sent to you. In that video I had shown you the same example of continuous beam, and we had analyzed this continuous beam, and we also have this end moments which are calculated from the slope deflection. Okay, so you try to verify whether the end moments that I have calculated from the Carney's method and the end moments that are carried out or calculated from the slope deflection are remaining same or not. Okay, you can check or you can verify that later, and you can solve this same beam using the moment distribution method, and you can compare with the results that are arrived from the Carney's method and moment distribution method. Okay, so anyhow, so you know this beam was 5 meter in length for element AB and 6 meter length for element BC. The total length of the beam was 11 meter. Okay, and AB element was subjected to 50 kilonewton, and BC member was loaded by a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter, and we had also calculated the fixed end moment MFAB, MFBA, MFBC, MFCB. You can again try to calculate these values. Okay, or else you can try to note down the values that we calculated from the slope deflection equation itself. So after calculating the fixed end moments, the next step is to calculate the rotation factors. Okay, so in the previous method, moment distribution method, you used to calculate the distribution factors, right? Distribution factor was basically the ratio of relative stiffness divided by joint stiffness, right? So here we are going to calculate the rotation factor, and we know what is the equation for rotation factor. Previously I had solved this equation. This equation was like this: uij is representing the rotation factor, which is equals to minus 1 by 2 into kij divided by summation of kij. Okay, we'll use this equation and we'll solve the uij. Uij is being the rotation factor. Okay, so again, this is a table which I have drawn to calculate the rotation factor. This is the same table that we used to draw to calculate the distribution factor, right? So first there will be joint, there will be member, k and summation of k, and then we will calculate the rotation factor. Here in the previous method we used to calculate the distribution factor. In this method, instead of distribution factor, we are calculating the rotation factor. Okay, right? So we will see how many joints can be considered. This is the B joint, which is having more than one member, so henceforth we will consider only joint B. Joint B is connected by member BA and BC. K value is I by 5, I by 6. I by 5 and I by 6. Now we'll take the sum of these two and I'll write down here. And what is the next step to be done? The next step is to take the ratio of k by summation of k, which means 1 divided by I by 5 divided by 0.3667 divided by I, and it should be multiplied by minus 1 by 2. Okay, so I by 5 divided by 0.3667 I multiplied by minus 1 by 2 will give you the rotation factor for BA. Similarly, you can calculate for BC by taking the ratio of I by 6 divided by 0.3667 I multiplied by minus 1 by 2 will give you the rotation factor for BC. So you can see the rotation factor for BA is minus 0.272 and rotation factor for BC is minus 0.227. Okay, so once you calculate these rotation factors, the next step is to conclude your end moments. Okay, in order to solve the end moments, we have to go to the procedure how to calculate using the Kani's method. Okay, now this is like a tree diagram, as you can see. Now this is a joint which is connected by only one member, so that's why there is no diagram that I have drawn like here. Okay, so you will draw this kind of tree diagram only where the joint is connected by more than one member. So it means what? Joint B is connected by more than one member, henceforth I have drawn this kind of figure over here. Okay, if it was connected by only one member, I would have simply shown the joint end whatever it is. If it is pinned, I'll show it pinned. If it is fixed, I'll show it as fixed. Okay, now you try to understand. What I have done is that I have taken this joint B and I have converted into like a tree diagram, and I am connected by the several branches it has. So it means what? Joint B is having two branches. All right, so BA and BC are the two members which are connected. Okay, now you can see that I have made 4 parts of this square. Okay, so this is 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So in this portion I have not written anything, in this portion also I have not written anything, but I have written in these two places. So you can refer what is being written in this space and what is being written in this space. Okay, go back to the rotation factor and see what I have written. So it is minus 0.272, and which is the same value I have written over here, and here it is minus 0.227 which I have written on this side. Okay, so basically these spaces you can utilize to write down the rotation factors. Okay, now if right now for joint B only two members are connected, which is BA and BC. If there was another member called B or BD, you could have written the rotation factor for them also. Okay, so basically these spaces are utilized to write the rotation factor of respective members. Okay, so for this we can write the rotation factor for BA, for here we can write the rotation factor for BC, for here we can write another joint if it is connected to. Okay, you try to understand. As we do not have any member connected in this direction and this direction, that's why these spaces are empty. Okay, now these spaces are filled because there are members connected in this and this side. Okay, so here we have BA and here we have BC, and these are the rotation factors for BA and BC respectively. Okay, now you try to understand what I have done. First I'll draw this diagram, then I'll write the rotation factors, then I'll draw the lines to represent the member BA and BC. Now what I'll do is, initially I'll write the fixed end moments above this line. Above this line I have written the fixed end moment. See, what is MFAB? Minus 31.25, and what is MFBA, which is 31.25. Similarly, MFBC and MFCB is also been written. So above the line, above this line, we'll write the fixed end moment. Okay, now below the line, for your reference, I have written M double dash AB. What is M double dash and AB? M double dash AB is representing the rotation moments. Okay, rotation moments are represented below the line. Okay, in this problem itself I am writing here. In future I would not be writing these values here. Okay, now see here, just for your understanding, I have written this is M double dash AB, this is M double dash BA, M double dash BC, M double dash CB. From next problem onwards, if I write any value over here, you should be able to understand which rotation moment I am speaking about. Okay, which will be very clear, because this is joint B. If this is a joint B, the rotation factor over here will be called as M double dash BA, the rotation factor over here will be called as M double dash BC, and the rotation factor over here will be called as M double dash AB, and this will be M double dash CB. It will be very clear for you. By the routine thing, you would be able to easily understand also. Okay, now you got to understand what we have to write in this column. In this column you have to write the respective rotation moments. Okay, now above the line we have written the fixed end moments. Okay, once this is understood, next step is to calculate what are the rotation factors, rotation moments over here. We have already calculated the rotation factor. Let us calculate the rotation moments. So how to calculate the rotation moment? We already have this equation called m double dash ij is equals to u ij into bracket summation of mf ij plus of summation of m double dash ji. Okay, now let us try to use this equation and solve what is the rotation moment at BA and BC. Okay, I am not calculating the rotation moment at AB or CB. Why? Because these are connected by only one member. Okay, so it means what? This is your fixed end do not have the rotation until and unless it is being given in your problem. Okay, right now this is your internal joint, B is your internal joint which will undergo the rotation. So that's why I am considering only joint B and the members connected on the joint B. I am calculating the rotation moments. Okay, right. Now the next thing what we need to do is to calculate m double dash BA and m double dash BC. So let us calculate them. So to calculate the rotation moments, what we will do is we will use this equation. In this equation you can see m dash AB. I will write over here. If I want to calculate how much is m double dash BA, this equation will be UBA into bracket summation of MFB plus of summation of m double dash BJ. Okay, sorry, I can write it as JB. Okay, you try to understand what this equation basically says. So what we need to do here is we need to take the summation of all the fixed end moment at joint B. We need to take the summation of fixed end moments at joint B. Then we have to add the summation of far end moments. Okay, these are my far end moments. For BA, the far end is AB. For BC, the far end is CB. So it means what? We need to take the sum of these two and these two, and we have to multiply with the rotation factors, and we have to write over here. Okay, so understand again, this is the drill you need to follow. What we do here is remember this equation. In this equation it says UBA is your rotation factor. So if you already solved UBA, the next thing is to multiply with the summation of fixed end moments with the summation of far end rotation moments. So we already know the far end moments are 0, 0. You might ask me why I have written it as 0, 0. Because this is the first step. In the first step you already know the far end is being fixed. If the far end is fixed, the rotation there will be equal to 0. So the rotation moment at this end and this end will be 0. That's why I written 0, 0 over here. Okay, so 0 plus 0, these are representing the summation of m double dash JB, which are far end rotation moments. The far end rotation moments is equals to 0. So what is left over? If this is equals to 0, what is left over? Only this one, which is summation of fixed end moment. Summation of fixed end moments means what? 31.25 minus of 30, and these two summation has to be multiplied with the respective values of rotation factors are to be written over here. Okay, so summation of MFAB, which is 31.25 minus of 30, is multiplied by minus 0.272 and written over here. Similarly, 31.25 minus of 30 multiplied by minus of 0.227 is written over here. Okay, so these are the rotation moments at joint B, and this is your rotation moment at BA, and this is the rotation moment at BC. Okay, so this is the first step that you have to carry out. Okay, once this is done, the next step what we do is to carry over. Okay, this is the end, these are the values of rotation moments. Next what we do is that we carry over to the other end. If this is m double dash BA on this side, so on the other side also it will be m double dash BA itself. Okay, now here also on the far end again I will carry over, which is m double dash BC itself. Now don't get confused between distribution factor and this. Okay, so in moment distribution method we used to carry out half of that. Here we are carrying out the entire value. Whatever the value I got here, I am dividing, I am sending it to the far end. But in the previous method what we used to do, we used to divide it by 2 and send it to the other side. Now it is a question for you. You tell me why we are not dividing it by 2. Okay, think over the entire derivation that I have explained you. Look back into that equation that we have written, and you could be able to understand why we are not carrying over half of the value why we are carrying over the entire value to the far end. Okay, right, this is your exercise, you can say. Okay, now once we calculated all the moments, next thing is to calculate the MAB, which are end moments. Now to calculate the end moments, what we need to go back to the earlier equation, which is this equation. Mij is equals to MFij plus of 2 times of M double dash ij plus of M double dash ji. Now I'll quickly write down what is my MFAB. Now see, in this equation, if I'm calculating for MAB, I would write it as MFAB plus of 2 times of M double dash AB plus of M double dash BA. Okay, so this will be my equation to calculate the MAB. Similarly, you can write for MBA, MBC and MCB. Now let us go to this diagram that we have drawn, this table that we had written. So in this, let us determine what is MFAB. So this is your MFAB, which is minus 31.25 plus of the rotation moment at AB is equals to 0. So that's why substitute 0 here. And what is far end moment, this is your far end moment, which is minus of 0.34. so M double dash BA is minus of 0.34. now taking the sum of this will give me the end moment at MAB. Okay, now you can verify this value with the value that we solved from slope deflection equation if you want to. Okay, now let us go to MBA. What is MBA? MBA is equals to MFBA. So what is MFBA? This is overwritten here, 31.25 plus of what is the rotation moment at the near end. The rotation moment is 0.34. This is your rotation moment. So we need to multiply it 2 times of minus of 0.34 plus of what is the far end moment we have. If I carry over to this side, it will be 0 itself, right? So that's why it is 0, and this is your value for MBA. Similarly, you can solve for MBC and MCB. Okay, this is how we solve the end moments using the rotation method or Kani's method. So I want you to solve the reactions, shear force diagram, bending moment diagram. Anyhow we have solved this using the slope deflection equation. You can refer back for reactions, shear force diagram and bending moment diagram, the same thing. But if you find any difficulty in solving the end moments using this method, you can ask me the question. Okay, the procedure for Kani's method is simple. First you solve the fixed end moments, then you solve the rotation moments, then you solve the rotation moments at every end using this chart. After that you calculate the fixed end moments, the end moments using these equations. Okay, so if you find any difficulty, you ask me the question. Anyhow, we are solving more problems on this in future. Okay, there also if you find any difficulty, you can ask me the question. Thank you.